Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to another video? This is another paid request, this time from Chris Rogers. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, topics, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called Strapped from 1993, which was a made-for-cable movie, made for TV, mainly HBO, and it was directed by Forest Whitaker. Yes, the actor Forest Whitaker actually directed this. And it's one of those films, Strapped is a film that it's okay, it's decent, mainly for the acting, the cast involved, because you got people, Bokeem Woodbine, you got Michael Biehn from The Terminator and Aliens, you got Craig Wasson, who I remember he was in Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. He was in this film called Body Double back in the day. He was in a film called Ghost Story. See, those are the actors I recognize the most out of. It is one of those films that feels like I've seen it before. It's like a mix of Clockers and Juice and a few other movies I've seen. So it wasn't anything that was remarkable, or it feels familiar. That's what I'm getting at. It just felt fairly familiar. The story is that Bokeem Woodbine, he's on trying to be on the straight and narrow. He visits his mom, his grandma. He has his bicycle, does deliveries. He has a pregnant girlfriend, and the pregnant girlfriend gets caught selling crack, so she's in jail, and she's going to be in jail for quite a few years, unless Bokeem Woodbine makes a deal with these cops, in particular Michael Biehn. Michael Biehn says, hey, there's guns on the street, I need info to get the guns off the street, to get some arrests. If you do that, we'll get your pregnant girlfriend out of jail. Ultimately he's like, fine, I'll do it. But then he gives him like 1, 2, 3 people. It's not enough. So then he gets kind of pulled deeper and deeper into it, until you get a fairly depressing ending, which in a way kind of doesn't really follow through on the message it's trying to detail about guns. Because, I mean, the whole title's Strapped. And it's about, guns and guns on the streets, and it's trying to be a big message about that. Craig Wasson plays a gun dealer because Bokeem Woodbine gets with this buddy of his. His buddy works on the streets, and his buddy knows this gun guy, again played by Craig Wasson. Okay, we're going to go with him. And there are times that Forest Whitaker, he's trying hard with the direction. At times a little bit too try hard. Like early in the film, there's these two people arguing, and we're on top of a staircase, and the camera is literally in this swirling, dizzying, circular aerial shot going down as these two folks, really two kids, are arguing with each other. And it begins with one shooting the other. But as one shoots the other, this music voice says, respect, respect. And when Bokeem Woodbine finds the scene, the camera then zooms on the face of the victim, and zooms on the face of the kid who killed the other kid. And Bokeem Woodbine covers for him, and because he knows that kid, and he at the same time doesn't want to get involved. But at times it goes fairly over the top in his direction, especially in his soundtrack. Especially in his soundtrack, to the point that it was kind of discombobulating. It was kind of noticeable in a bad way. Distracting. That's the word I'm looking for. Distracting. Like, there's a point where Bokeem Woodbine comes home, and the song's playing. As he enters, the song's like, wipe your feet before you come inside. Wipe your feet before you come inside. I'm like, what is this shit? I don't know what the fuck Forest Whitaker is doing with some of this, the soundtrack of this. But Bokeem Woodbine gives a solid performance. He's a guy that you're it's easy to feel sorry for. He's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to do the responsible thing. He's trying to help out. His lady's an idiot, selling crack. And even he's like, well, why did you do this? Why do you do this? Well, I thought you were going to leave me, so I was doing right by the baby to try to sell this crack. Because I thought you were going to leave me. And he's like, when did I ever say I was going to leave you? He should have said, listen, you dumb bitch. When the fuck did I say I was going to leave you, you dumb bitch? So she's just a fucking idiot. So you just feel sorry for Bokeem Woodbine because the real message is, number one, don't snitch to a cop because the cops will fuck you up and fuck you over. And don't have a bitchy pregnant girlfriend because the bitchy pregnant girlfriend will get you in the serious ship because she's a fucking idiot. And I say ship, not shit. Ship as in you're on the ship of the shitting seas up shit creek. You're on the ship on the biggest shit creek of all. That's what the pregnant bitch got you. So don't trust pregnant idiot bitches and don't trust cops. That's really more the message, not guns are bad. That's kind of the message I got from it. Seems the more adamant message to the film. Because Bokeem Woodbine, about the cop thing, he trusts Michael Biehn and his partner, and he gives him a guy. And granted, Michael Biehn does try to talk to this other guy, and the other guy I recognize. I forget his name, he's only in one scene in this movie. But I believe he's the guy in RoboCop. One of the bad guys that gets melted, and he gets hit and explodes at the end. He was on the TV show ER. He has a big part in this. Again, he's in like one scene. And he said, well, I can't get his lady out because her charge is bigger than this charge. So pretty much Michael Biehn can't get the girl out. And so he has to keep going, well, give me another guy. Give me another guy. And Bokeem Woodbine said, wait a minute, we made a deal. Now you're changing the deal? And there's certain pieces of direction that I think Forest Whitaker, some of his directions that falter and some of the writings that falter. Because it's not the actors. When I say by the direction, not only some of the over-the-top musical choices, or how certain like words will appear on the soundtrack. Respect, respect, or wipe your feet before you come. Like I mentioned, there's some weird edits, like scene transitions, like swirling scene transitions. That doesn't seem like it fits with the tone of the movie. And then there are times where it'll cut to Bokeem Woodbine, not quite in the middle of nowhere, but somewhere just like dancing. Either that's maybe his workout somewhere, and he's got his shirt off, and he's like dancing and doing this. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what the fuck Forest Whitaker was doing. I just, on his off time, Bokeem Woodbine's character just likes to dance somewhere. I think I see a body of water behind him. I think. I don't know why. I thought that was a very strange choice. And then that's when Bokeem Woodbine gets with his buddy. His buddy is this rapper. Well, the person playing it is this rapper named Fredro Starr. I'm not too familiar with his work. And then they deal with this gun salesman played by Craig Wasson, doing deals here, doing deals there. The cops arrest Craig Wasson, can't hold him. He's able to make bail for his girlfriend. And Forest Whitaker, here's another thing. Sex scenes with pregnant ladies are not sexy. You try to do this love scene, and there's her stomach, and you see the stretch marks of the stomach because she's pregnant. It's not sexy. No matter how much sexy music you try to play under it. I'm sorry, it's not sexy. Maybe it is for some people, but not for me. Love seeing sex scenes with pregnant ladies aren't sexy to me. Sorry, not my cup of tea. So I know this seems like a lot of ranting, and it is, because I do have a lot of issues with the film. I don't hate the film because at the end of the day, I enjoyed the actors. I think Bokeem Woodbine, despite my problems with some of the writing, there are moments of dialogue, little speeches that Bokeem gives. Like this intense scene between him and Michael Biehn, where Michael Bihn's trying to get info out of him and throwing him around, and Bokeem Woodbine's talking about, you want to talk about guns in the street? Well, you know what? Where did those guns come from? If you want to stop those guys, and then you want to stop the bigger guys in DC and stuff, like the scene between him and Michael Biehn, that's a good scene. Being a big Michael Biehn fan, it was always nice to see another film with him in it. The guy who plays his buddy, the rapper Starr, he did fine. Craig Wasson, being the nice doctor in Elm Street 3 and a good guy in Body Double, it was interesting to see him play a different role as this villainous gun guy. I like that actor. It's a different change of pace as his gun salesman. But again, I think Forest Whitaker's direction wasn't that great. Like, there's a moment, spoiler alert, where they're in the store. Bokeem Woodbine and his buddy. It's a store. There's an Asian guy. I will admit, on a little tidbit, I appreciate that the Asian guy sounded New York. Because there is tendency that they just make someone sound broken English. No, the guy sounds like New York, almost Brooklyn. I know that might not mean much, but that was a little thing. Okay, I like that. And his buddy pulls out a gun, hears a noise, turns, and shoots a little kid. Accidentally. Which didn't seem like it was too on point with the character at that point of time. Granted, he just got this phone call from Craig Wasson saying even though he didn't do it. It was Bokeem who did it, but they don't know that yet. And he accidentally kills the kid. But the girl, when he gets shot, she has no acting on her face. Just, okay, imagine if I got shot. And this is the acting from this little girl. I'm like, did she die before she got shot? Like, you get shot, it's like dead in the face, no acting, no emotion, nothing. And then you have this over the top, music. Like, very overzealous, very over the top. And yeah, I'm being judgmental because I've seen a lot of these movies that take place in the hood. I've seen a lot that I think did that stuff better. Is it worth a look to see Bokeem Woodbine and Michael Bihn's acting performances? Yes. Have I seen much worse movies? Yes. But then when I look at films like Fresh is a good movie. I look at even Boys in the Hood. I look at Mr. Society, in a way, is doing better what this is trying to do. To show the darker side of the hood. At times, it seems like almost a side cousin of Clockers. You have a guy working with cops, and that doesn't work out the best. And the ending is just really lame. Spoiler alert, what happens is his buddy finds out, tries to shoot him. But then the buddy gets away. They arrest Bokeem, and Bokeem goes, you know what? He's not going to give up his buddy, even though the guy tried to kill him and accidentally killed a kid. But he's not going to give up his buddy. Craig Watson has gotten away. Like, his buddy's gotten away. He goes, if I give you a murder, my girl goes free, right? Okay, fine. That kid that got killed by those steps, the beginning murder we saw, he says he did it. It's a lie, and you can tell the cops know he's lying, but he says, listen, you don't know me. You know how it is out here. I got nowhere else to go. Pretty much saying, you guys have made it known now that I'm a snitch. If I go out there, I'll be dead. Or something will happen to his wife and kid. So, I will give you a murder. I'll say guilty. You put me in jail. They won't think I'm a snitch. I'll be safe in jail. And as he says, at least in jail I'll be alive to see my kid. He didn't do it, but he goes to jail willingly. And that's how the movie ends. I'm like... And then it gives text as Craig Watson and the guy's buddy are still doing gun deals about where guns come from and how many guns are on the street. I'm like, no, Forrest, what this really told me was if your girlfriend is a pregnant idiot, she'll be a dumb bitch and fuck you over. And by the way, he did this because the girl was going to go to jail for like 8 years. 8 years is a lot, but think about it this way. Either you do nothing, you raise the kid, and she gets out when the kid's 8, or now you, for something you didn't do, you don't be in jail probably for the rest of your life, or until you're 80. It seemed like he should not have gone to the cops in the first place. So again, his girlfriend's a dumbass for trying to sell crack even though she's pregnant. And then, if you're that much of an idiot, I'm like, maybe you deserve to be in jail for that being that much of a fucking moron. And don't make a deal with a cop, because you'll be in a shittier situation. And that's what happened. If he'd made no deal, he'd be in a better situation than trying to deal with the cops. He's in a worse situation. Now, I think it's like his third strike. He's going to be in jail probably for the rest of his life. And that's that. And I'm like... And again, there's no comeuppance for anybody. The only comeuppance is for the innocent guy. Maybe that was Forest Whitaker trying to tell something that's more real. But at the same time, this is entertainment. And there are movies that have done that, but are either more powerful, like Menace to Society. Whether you like the film or not, it definitely gave you a bit of a stronger punch. Or Boys in the Hood and Fresh, where there's some bad things that happen. There's a little, but at least there's a little something you can hang on to. This, I don't want to say empty, but just like, really? That's... Like I said, the germ of the kernel of the beginning, the kernel of truth for this movie is don't trust cops and don't be with a pregnant chick who's a fucking idiot, or you will get screwed over. That's what I got out of it. So yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot of ranting because I wasn't really a big fan of it. The idea of the Juice, I think is a better movie. Fresh, I think is a better movie. Boys in the Hood, I think is a better movie. Or go watch a comedy like Friday with Ice Cube. That's a much better movie. They're just better films than this. Like I said, if it's for free on YouTube, if you want to just flip through it just to watch Michael Biehn and some of Bokeem Woodbine's performance, sure. But it's nothing I would ever see again. Sorry. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.